So now let's move on to the preset canvas editor that you're familiar with from Blade Edit and WinBlade and those products, and actually Java Blade that was used for the Mac for a long time, which is a great shout out to Lars for making that app. I used it for a long time. It was really great. So anyway, let's look at the preset, basically the preset editing area, which is, I call it the canvas editor ultimately. So you'll notice that once we get all of our presets from the Switchblade, they're all right here, easy peasy, straightforward to get to all that stuff. And then we can go here to one of the presets and select them. Now, when you are connected via MIDI, so it's one of the MIDI icon versions of the ET that you may be looking at, I try to do an auto layout. Now, since I'd already opened this and I kind of moved these around in the previous video, you'll see that it's this way. Know that when you work with a file and wherever you put your icons on the screen, I save that in the file. And so when you open the file again, your screens will always look the way you had them laid out. If, however, you connect via MIDI and you're only working with the MIDI connected version of of whatever Switchblade you're talking to, I do an auto layout, which looks kind of like this. Maybe one of these will do it. If I do this, you'll see I just kind of auto layout, right? Once I move one of these things, I write those screen locations, and then if you save this as a file, then it'll always look the same when you open it. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's look at the live set, and you can see what's going. There's a lot of stuff going on in this screen. It's really great. The first thing is you'll notice that you have all of the information on each patch. Okay. And this is the start and end gain. Then you have if there's a controller assigned, and then whether it's a volume type or a pan type. And then I put these little icons here so you could quickly see if you have something going on that you would like to be able to work with. So for example, if we are looking at this guitar to fuzz connection, if we select that actual patch, you'll see that the patch gain editor pops up. And this is where you do all of your work for a particular patch at any point in time. Now, you'll notice that what we previously had over here is you see this little yellow icon here, and you see the same icon in blue. Blue means fixed gain, okay? Yellow means that you're using a controller and that there is a variance in the gain that a controller controls, and that's where we see here it's the Y controller. So if I select that patch, you'll see it's using the Y controller. I've got the start gain is minus 48 and end gain is 0 dB. So that's like a typical volume pedal setup basically. All right, so you can quickly in your patches see if you've got any kind of controllers set up, because that's important. If you don't know and that controller is set to 0 or something, you don't have any audio and you're wondering where am I broken in my chain, you can very quickly see, oh, okay, here we go. Now, so for example, if we change this guy, we can change him to an LFO, say LFOA. Now, just so you know, I automatically revert to fixed gain if you don't change. If these two gains are the same, I revert to fixed gain. I assume you wanted fixed gain, and whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but it just seems like it makes sense to me, so that's what I do. But now you'll notice if we save this now, hey, we've got this little yellow wavelength sign, so that tells me I've got an LFO assigned to this guy. Even though I can see it right here, it's nice to do that. Now, what's fun is I can go in here and I can really streamline this if I want. So if I don't want to show the canvas detail at all, I can turn it off, but you'll notice I left the canvas detail icons selected, and then you can see I now have it just the icons on there. Now there's also this background right here, so I can turn that off too if you want to. So you can kind of customize this, and this will persist through your restarts. You can come back here to reset everything and get all the information if you want it all there. And this actually, this is a good time to talk about this this tool pop-up anyway. You can copy a preset. So this preset, you just select where you want to copy it to, and then hit copy, you're done, and it will copy this preset to somewhere else. You can also copy this preset to the clipboard, what I call the clipboard. And when you do this, if you copy that right there, now you'll notice when you go here, it says current clipboard is 3-live set. Now what's cool about this is I can actually go and select a different Switchblade, and then I can paste that preset into its presets if I want. which is, I think, pretty cool. It kind of gives you an unlimited way to back up all of your different presets, and then you can make, if you've got different bands that you play with or whatever, and then you're going to do maybe like you're doing a gig where you're playing with all three bands but only a couple of the songs or something like that. You could literally quickly make a set from all the different files you have saved to one file. I just thought that was kind of fun. So I implemented that real quick. Anyway, now that you've edited this, here's another kind of fun thing to see. You can quickly get rid of a connection by just dragging over here, right? I can also, this is how you add a connection. Just click and click. Hopefully that works really well for you. I don't seem to have any problems selecting this stuff. It works really well on the iPad as well. But let me know if I need to try to figure out how to make this a little bigger or something. I don't know, but it works really well for me, so I haven't really worried about it. Let's actually do something kind of fun here with this guy. So let's go to a blank one, and I happen to know that I've got a loop playing from a Kemper down there right now, and I want to show you kind of how this works. I know it's on. I basically have it on channel 8. That's the other thing I didn't talk to you about is I show the actual I/O numbers for an input and an output. Remember that with devices, the hardware I/O flip. So an output for a device is actually an input on the SwitchBlade. Always confused the hell out of me. This will also show you whether if on some of the ETs you can do remote adjust, you can change the gain to -6, you can pad stuff like that. Those numbers will show up here as well, so you can see if that stuff has been activated. I'll try to show that in a minute. But anyway, let's show something kind of fun right quick. So let's make this connection. So you hear my little basic loop going, and so at this point we can do all the controls. So I can control it in real time, change the volume, right? Now I can go and I can also make a controller. So now I've got basically a volume pedal set up, and then here I can control it like this. At least I thought I could. What happened? Let's see. I see. Okay, I messed up. I didn't change this guy, so I reverted to fixed. That's good for you to see. Got to make sure you set these values for that. So now we'll be set. And here we go. So I can do this in real time, just like if I had a foot pedal or something else connected right there. The other thing that you'll notice is that since I selected this patch, I also automatically selected the I/O and the input VU meter. And so that input VU meter will start showing right there. Now, if I was to make another patch, so let's get the guitar to an AC30. If I make this patch, okay, and then if I select it, I automatically switch to the guitar VU meter. So it's kind of a fast way to quickly see what's going on in the VU. See? I can quickly see what's going on, and it's kind of a convenience thing. Also, if you change presets, we automatically stop the VU reporting. It's kind of a busy. The SwitchBlade sends that quite a bit. So I generally like to have it off unless I'm actively using that VU for some reason. So whenever you switch preset or get off the screen, I automatically turn the input monitoring off. So you'd have to re-enable it if you want it to be automatic while you're editing. Just a heads up. Okay, so then finally, once you've done your editing and things like that, you want to send these presets. Oh, don't forget to name. You can name these things, and you'll notice that it changes. I'll just say test. That was 4, so we'll say test 4. And you'll notice it changed here. Well, everything there. And then you can change the relays. You can't. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but the the 8F is clicking, so the relay is done in real time as well. But once you select one, this now becomes part of the preset. So when you're done with all of this, then what you can do is go here and say, I want to send just this preset, or I can send all the presets to the hardware from right there. You can also, like if you've been editing this preset and you're like, whoa, did I screw it up or whatever, you can go right here and hit get that preset, and it will go clear it out. You'll notice it cleared it out. And there you go. You can also, by the way, if you've been doing something like, say, let's take this preset here, and I want to clear this preset, I can clear it. Let's do live set. Let's say I've got a whole bunch of wacky stuff going on here. I can also go in and auto layout. See, that's what kind of quickly puts it back into place, and hopefully it is a little more useful for you this way. And then you can move these guys around wherever you want them from there. By the way, this is non-destructive in a sense that I haven't saved this file, so it says edited up here, whatnot. But if I don't save it, it's not going. It hasn't overwritten what I have on the file system right now, or what's in the Switchblade if I have not sent this data deliberately to the Switchblade. Something to keep in mind. Another interesting thing just to be aware of. For example, if you try to move this off of the canvas, you'll see that I automatically kind of move it over into the available devices, and that's just something I had to do to keep, because this is a very, very open screen here, and I just didn't, you got to make it where people can't take things off the screen. So that was the easiest way I could do it, because this is kind of a known area and makes it easy to work with. Again, if you drag one of these over here, it will disconnect automatically. Just to keep that in mind. When you do it in another area, it doesn't disconnect. It just puts it over there, and so you can go, oh, I need to drag it back where I want it or whatever. Let's see real quick. I'll see if I can show you before we close up this video something that shows. I probably should have. You know what? I'm just going to cancel that. You can cancel that as well and get back to other work. Let's go to the ET and empty presets. I thought I had something in here that would also, this is a good thing to show real quick. You can turn, if you don't like the red icons, stuff like that, you can turn them off. Okay. Let's see, where did those are empty file. Okay, that's what's wrong. Okay, let's open an example file real quick. Here is an ET example file that you can open, and it has stuff already set up. It's kind of fun. It shows MIDI configuration, so you can go in and play with that and see what it looks like when you're doing that. Controller stuff is set up. This is good for you to be able to just kind of look and see what the UI does with different things. Let's look at this guy. So AC30 as an example. You'll notice this is what I want to show you. See, this has an I there. So this is showing it's at instrument level. Okay, if I was to change that to line level, this would become an L, stuff like that. So that's just an example to tell you what, there's different things that you can see in place. Here's a multi-amp view. Just real easy, straightforward example kind of things for you to play with as well. You'll also notice in the preset editor is you can set up your program changes per preset. This takes a second to pop up, but you can see anything that has been assigned a MIDI channel, you can then set up patch change for our program change for that, and this will be sent when this preset is called up in the Switchblade in real time. You can also do it for your external devices. Again, remember, you can only do 16 of them, and this will tell you can't add something once a MIDI channel's already been done. You can also set up the controllers per preset. So you'll notice that this one was assigned to preset, so we can now set to whatever device has a MIDI channel and then send this CC for that particular LFO right there, and you can disable it or have it on per preset. Really powerful stuff in the Switchblade. But you can assign all that stuff here, and once you send this preset, all this data goes to the Switchblade itself. Okay, I think that would be enough for the Canvas and preset editor at this time. We'll move on to another video. Thank you.